Okay, so what is a still life? For this project, we are going to be choosing images that are still lifes. And so we're going to be looking at what they are, how we know that they're a still life image, and how we can go about picking our photo for our digital mosaic. So, what is a still life? A still life is a work of art showing inanimate objects, and inanimate is just another word for saying that they don't move. So, typically, this includes commonplace objects, which are either natural or man made. So, you can have an object that's living, but it can still be inanimate. For example, food would be a natural object that you could choose, but things like flowers and plants and shells, well, shells maybe not so much, but flowers and plants are living, they're just not moving. A man made object could be something like a drinking glass, a book, a vase, jewelry, coins, sneakers, basketball, anything like that is a man made object. Try to think of things that you could hold in your hand or in your hands. So, when we're picking our objects for our digital mosaics, we want to make sure that they are still life images to be able to count towards this project. And still life images tell us a lot about the artist. So when we pick our images, we want to be picking images that give us a little bit of information about who we are as people. These are three different still life pieces that I think do a really good job of showing this. For example, Nicole Dreyer in the middle, where it says My Pantry 2018, she has pretty much everything that probably exists in her bedroom on that shelf, and she's chosen to include it in her still life painting. I can tell by looking at it that she has one of her favorite painters is David Hockney. He's also one of my favorite painters. She loves peanut butter. She likes Instagram. She likes cake. She eats in her room. There's a lot of clues and things that we can notice just from looking at this. It's kind of like I Spy a little bit. And then on the right, Janet Fish is another really good example of ways that you can include information about yourself while being a little bit more subtle. So in Janet Fish's, you'll notice that she has a lot of tropical flowers in the reflections that's being refracted by the glass and the water and the light. And the reason she actually includes those is she's from Hawaii. So you'll notice in a lot of her artwork, it's really bright. There's a lot of tropical foliage in it. And while it's not as straightforward as Nicole Dreyer's, it is sharing a bit of information about who she is as a person. And a still life can be anything. It can be a photo, a painting, a drawing. It can be anything like that, any sort of art form. So we're going to look at a couple examples of still life images. Some will be photos, some will be paintings. And I want to see if you guys can try to pick out certain clues about who the artist is or things that they're interested in or maybe what they do for work. So take a look at this one. What do we know about the artist? If we're looking at this, what might you guess that they might be involved in? What might their job be? What might their lifestyle be? And I want you to answer here. And this one. What do we know about this artist? What do they do? What are their hobbies? What are their jobs, skills? Answer here. And finally, this one. What do we know? And try to not jump to stereotypes or certain conclusions about specifically who the person is, but just think about what are they interested in and how do we know? What did they include? And answer here. So when you're picking your images, try to pick something that's aesthetically pleasing to you. So obviously, these are all examples of just inanimate objects. We have our natural objects like the flowers, and then we have our inanimate natural objects like our flowers, and then we have our commonplace man-made objects like the sneakers or the glasses or the record. So when you're picking them, yes, pick a photo of objects that you enjoy, but think about the composition. How are they placed? What is the arrangement? Look at the positive space, the negative space, and choose something that's going to be aesthetically pleasing to you when you are done with the mosaic. So now it's your turn. For your digital mosaic project, you will need to first pick a photo that shares some information about you. For example, Daniel is a 3-season athlete, so he decided to pick the photo below. He's got a soccer ball, basketball, football, volleyball, baseball, tennis, and golf. And so when you pick your photo, I want you to pick a photo with at least 3 objects in it that tell us something about you. You can either find it online or you can take the photo for yourself, maybe with objects you found around your bedroom. It's completely up to you. But once you're done and once you've selected it, please submit your assignment to Schoology.